Hi everybody, Bloodgood here today on the 7th day of Wade and T's 30-day vulnerability challenge. Today I'd like to share with you guys on this nice sunshiny day. Started off raining and cloudy and miserable, and then it just all broke up, and now it's a partly cloudy, partly sunny day actually. And it's feeling really good out here, so coming out and getting some sun and feeling a little bit better here with the sun shining on me. But yeah, today I'd like to share some things with you that are vulnerable, about some things about me that I'm sure everybody can see from the outside, but doesn't really necessarily understand from the inside point of view of things. So I'm going to share some of that with you. Everybody that knows Wade and's ever met Wade in person knows that I'm a very tall and lanky, skinny individual, and it's not an uncommon build. I see a lot of people built like me wandering around and stuff like that, but for me, I'm 6'3" and I weigh about, here's the vulnerable part. I really don't like sharing this particular aspect of things, but I'm 6'3" and I weigh about 134 pounds, and the most I've ever been up to is about 155 pounds at the maximum in my entire life. And that's when I was going to CrossFit and working out 3 times a week and really eating a whole lot better at that particular time of my life, which was only just a few years ago. But it's a real problem for me eating. Basically, when I was a kid, what happened for me was my mom was a single parent for a little while there, and for a few years, and she was just struggling from all ends to have enough money in the pocket to buy food and things like that. And I just remember feeling like I was a burden to my mother in the department of needing stuff. Like kids always want something, whether it's a toy or this or that, but the basic things like clothes and food is something that a kid needs and really shouldn't deny. And I just felt like I was such a burden on my mother because she was struggling so much to feed 2 kids and herself and pay the bills, that I literally had started to tell myself a story inside my mind of just that I'm not hungry, and that I don't need to eat that much food. And it's become a deep-rooted pattern belief within me. So with that being said, I trained myself to not have an appetite. I literally do not get hungry until it might be 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and all of a sudden I'm just running on fumes, or just, I'm not sure what I'm running on, but I feel depleted. And at that point I tell myself, well, you have to eat something, and you got to energize your body. And probably since, I would say, since 10 years old is when this started to happen for me. And ever since then, I've just really have not had an appetite. It's just been a struggle to eat food. My body has a lot of it's like when you starve yourself the way that I do, I can go 2-3 weeks and every day not even eat more than 500 calories a day. And on top of that, I have a problem of just not consuming as much water as I should. And to be honest with you, there's times where I don't even consume a gallon of water within 10 days. And so have been living most of my life basically in a malnourished state and in a dehydrative state, which does not help with depression, and it does not help with the physical issues that I have manifested in my body because I haven't been taking care of myself. But these things just kind of compound my problems, and I get mentally whacked out. I just get to a point of where I'm just running on vapors. Like I said, it's like a lot of people said, how do you do everything that you do, but you don't eat or drink any water? And I used to joke and say, well, I'm a camel, and I just store it up inside me. But the truth is I'm burning and living off the muscle of my body, and it's not healthy for me to do that. And I'm just realizing, man, I've been doing this my whole life, and it's actually really dangerous to do this to your body, and it's not a healthy thing whatsoever. And so with that being said, you know, I just want people to understand that a lot of the time in my life, when I'm coming across maybe like he's out of his mind, or you know, there's plenty of times like I can relate to that Snickers commercial where somebody's being completely frustrated or grouchy that they're not really themselves. And you know, when I reflect on my grouchiness or how I could easily get frustrated, it is a direct result of like not having the nourishment and the energy in my body to maybe deal with everyday life in a certain way that it doesn't feel so intense. Because if I eat something or drink something or get something in my body when I'm feeling all funkified, that I basically, you know, within about 20 minutes or so, my blood sugars start to rise, and my attitude definitely shifts and changes. But it's just been a brutal process for me to even come to this point. It's been a struggle for me my whole life, because when I look at myself, you know, a lot of people say, oh, you're handsome or you're attractive. And when I see myself in the mirror and I look at my skinny body, it's just, I don't feel that way. I don't feel handsome. I don't feel attractive. I feel like I'm skinny and I'm ugly, and I really don't like the way I look. And you know, I'd much rather put, you know, a good 25, 35, 45 pounds of muscle on my body and build my body up like that. And then I believe, yeah, I do believe I have a body that has a good physique on it if I was to apply the weight to it to allow the physique to be defined, you know. Otherwise, I'm just kind of skin and bones and muscle. And I mean, it's fine. There's plenty of people that love me, and there's plenty of people, you know, it's not that I'm short of having a girlfriend or anything in my life, but for me, it's just something that I'm not very proud of, and I'm you know, it's a self-conscious thing for me. I feel like, you know, being skinny or all of this, it's just not what's attractive in the world. And especially, I mean, it's not necessarily being skinny, but as thin as I am, I don't necessarily think that it's my physical body that people are attracted to. I think it's more of just the character of who I am, or, you know, I believe that I'm probably charming and have other, you know, humor characteristics and things like that people can overlook my body. But for me, that's the one thing that I tell you, I'm very self-conscious about, and have always felt that, you know, people judge me, and there's a lot of people that didn't want to be my friend, or maybe girls that didn't want to date me because my body wasn't up to par. And I've beat myself up about that for a long time, and I tried to do some things about it, but I also had some back issues that stopped me from going back to the gym, and kind of fell off track. And during the process of falling off track, I had done a lot of mental exercises to really kind of get my mind back to a place of being strong, and not suffering from depression or anxiety and panic attacks, and just the negative thinking that I was living in at the time. So I've been doing that for now 4 years, just mind exercising, which is, you know, a lot of positive affirmation in the mirror, and writing, and meditative work, and a lot of positive self-talk and stuff like that. And I've really overcome so many things in my life that I can see even just a short period ago that were overwhelming me, and I had no control over them. But through this mind exercise program that I've put myself on, and I've overcome so many things. So I'm at this point now where I really want to apply this mind thought process that I utilize to readjust my thinking about food, and readjust my thinking about the way I see myself, and readjust the way that I do things, so I can allow my body to accept the process and the transformation of going from somebody that feels like they shouldn't eat any food because they don't want to be a burden to anybody, to realizing that it's not a burden to eat food to anyone, and that it's great to have an abundance of things to eat to nourish my body, to have a stronger mind, to have a stronger body, because when I do that, that allows me to be able to be more helpful for everybody else. And when I'm depleted, even though I want to be helpful, I'm really not I'm firing at like 20% or maybe 10%, and everybody's getting robbed of that other 90 or 85% that I can give, and you're not getting the full weight. You're getting a portion of what I can be, because I'm just so depleted, and it just takes so much out of me. And it's it's just something that I've actually ashamed of. Like, it's just not easy for me to be skinny. And I look at all my cousins and people in the family, and everybody's just, they're bigger guys, and their bodies are full, and I want that for myself, and it's not that I want to be them or anybody else. I just want to be the best version of me I can be, and taking care of my body and having the proper physical weight that makes me feel comfortable within my own skin is something I'm shooting for. So yeah, that's basically what this is all about today. So I just wanted to share that with you guys about my weight. And I actually, I wanted a little bit more time where I could maybe give you guys a shot of my body and show you how skinny I am, but maybe I'll save that for another day within this 30 days of vulnerability, because I still have a hard time looking at myself in the mirror and looking at my skinny self, let alone stripping down and showing you guys what I'm talking about. But I do really appreciate everybody tuning in, and everybody watching the videos and making comments and sharing, and I thank you guys that are participating in this 30-day challenge with me and Tiffany, and sharing your vulnerabilities. And I just want to thank Tiffany again so much for just bringing up this challenge with me, because it's just pushing me more and more every day to just let you guys peek into a little bit more of who Wade Bloodgood is, what Wade Bloodgood has been going through, what Wade Bloodgood is about, and just let this vulnerability out so I can express myself even more freely. And I find myself doing that too. It would take me 10 times to shoot a video and look back at it and not be happy, or have to stop during a video because my mind would go a blank or whatever. In the past 3 videos, I've done everything on the first take, and I'm super happy with that. So this vulnerability challenge is really helping me out, and alleviating the pressures that I was having within myself of pushing through, of making videos every day. It's really therapeutical thing to do, I believe. And whether you're sharing it with everybody to see, I think that these videos of just making a vulnerability videos for yourself, even if you don't share with anybody, is actually a really healthy process to like talk this stuff out into a video that you can even watch later and listen. I found for myself personally really not caring to listen to the video over more than one time. I just play it to make sure that there's nothing that needs to be edited or anything like that, and then I just post it, and I really don't go back. And if my girlfriend's listening to it, I really don't want to hear my voice for some reason, but I just want to get these things out and move forward. I really don't want to replay them in a video over and over. I already know what the story is. I've been living it my whole life, and the point for me of a lot of this is to get these things that I've been replaying in my head out of my head, so I don't have to replay them anymore. So I really thank Tiffany and everybody tuning in for this challenge too, because that is definitely allowing me to do that more and more each and every day that I make a new video, and just release another part of me out into the world, and just know that everything's going to be okay when I just share my truth and be the authentic me. And so that's where I'm at with it. So I want to tell you guys that I love you all, and I wish you all the best, and I wish you guys healing energy out to the people that need it. And if you guys have sunshine where you're at, get out and enjoy the sun, because I'm telling you, it's so beautiful. I love it out here. Yeah. You all have a great day, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow on day 8.